All right, everyone. Hopefully this one is going to be a little bit better. I am recording with my phone, so I apologize. I've tried recording this video 3 times in CapCut, and it just keeps cutting out. So I want to talk about the trades that I've done today, and it's going to be a longer video. I'll find a solution eventually of how to do this. I thought CapCut would be easy because I can transfer it to my phone and edit it, but it's not working out. So in today's trades, first off, hopefully you had a wonderful weekend, and hopefully you had a wonderful Father's Day for all the fathers out there. And now let's get into the trading. Wonderful morning today on Monday. So we put in our opening range here. This was the opening range low, opening range high. You can see we pushed up into it, and then we came down, and then we had a bigger body candle up into it, and then we came back down to the EMA. We never touched the midline, so I was long biased all day long. We were above VWAP over here. Everything was just looking for trades long. I wasn't looking for any shorts today. So then we kept hitting the opening range here, and then we came down. We put this big wick down here, and I was like, okay, we've got a higher high, higher low, higher high, now a higher low. I'm going to enter on the break of this candle in presumption of going higher, which we did. I've got to look at this if I get into trades early on the orb. Normally I don't. Normally I wait for the orb to break. So as we broke, this candle went up. I'm like, okay, good. I said, now typically I'm waiting for a little bit of disposition and then a pull back to the opening range. So this was not good for this trade, because when we got up here, I had to move to break even +1 because that's my trade plan. If I hit 1R, I go to break even +1. It's a rule and I have to follow it. So when I did, I was like, okay, this is going to pull back and stop me out most likely. Hopefully not, because I'm below the EMA and everything still, but as you can see, it did. And then we immediately turned around and went back up. So I re-entered on that trade here with my stop below this candle down here. And we took off and full trade there. So I did end up losing 3 ticks on this one, 2 or 3 due to slippage. But this was a full trade here. And then typically I would have walked away right here. But my wife and I had a conversation this weekend, and I said, if I hit one trade and I walk away, be it $500, $900, whatever I end up making, if I walk away, that's it. If I have a losing day the next day, I kind of wiped out that day, because my max risk that I'm willing to lose on a day is $1,000 in these accounts. And I actually have a setup. I've got a video. If you're interested in it, it actually stops me from trading after losing $1,000. It doesn't take into account any profit, so you have to be mindful of that if you're in profit, but it won't let you lose a balance go lower than $1,000 of what your starting balance was for the day. So anyways, after talking to her this weekend, I decided to give it a shot. This is a fresh account, just started today, and I was like, okay, let's give it a shot. I'm up like $900 at this point. I said, I'm willing to take one more trade, and let's just wait and see what happens. So then we put in this candle here. We put in this candle here. I said, okay, we got an RBI here. I'm going to enter the break of this. And as you can see, full profit on that one as well, 2R. So now I'm up like $1,300, $1,500, something like that. And I was like, okay, now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to risk one more trade and just see how it goes and see what happens with that trade balance. Because my goal is $300 to $500 a day, roughly, on my daily limit. If I make 300, I'm fine. If I make 400, I'm fine. If I make 500, I'm great, But that's my daily goal to walk away with. If I make more than that, great. If I don't, I'm fine with that. So I had the 2 winning trades here. I'm up 1,300, 1,500. We come back down, we push back up, and we're battling the prior day high. As you can see, this trend line right here is the same on all my charts. This is the prior day high trend line that I draw on the charts all the time. So we're sandwiched in this prior day high area here. And I'm showing most of the entries on the 1 minute because that was where I actually triggered most of my trades based off it, so it doesn't look funny. So you can see down here, this RBI here was one that shows well on the 2 minute chart, but these other trades don't really make sense if you look at just the 2 minute chart. So that's why I'm on the 1 minute chart showing you the actual trade executions. But so we broke above, we came down, we came back above. I said, okay, if we break this, we could run. So I put my entry in up here, we got triggered in, and then I saw this tweezer top at 6,100. I'm like, crap, this can't be good. And then sure enough, we got stopped out, but I couldn't really move to break even +1 or anything because it was in the body of this green candle here. and I hadn't hit 1R. So it was just one of those gut things that, you know, you look at and you're like, I just really can't do that. And my stop at the time was down here below the EMA. Keep in mind, this candle hasn't printed down here yet. We're still trading up here. So I was like, okay, if it breaks below this invalidates my trade anyway. So I just left my stop there, ended up getting triggered out, and then we pushed lower. And then here we still made a higher high. Like this was the, or higher low, sorry. This was the high, and then we pulled down. This is still a higher low than this one back here. Now it is lower than this one here, but we, you know, it was a high, and a high, and then we came down, and then we never went higher. So this was the low of this move. And then, as you can see, I drew the trend line here. I have a circle here because I'm like, I should have taken this trade. I tried to get in this trade, but didn't. And then as this trade was playing out, the candle pulled back to where my entry would be, but then I got nervous that it might trade on lower, so I didn't want to risk that. I wanted to wait on really good confirmation trades, since I'm now risking my profit to take another trade, because I had this losing trade. I'm still up like $900 at this point. So I was willing to risk a little bit more. So then we pushed back up through here. We traded back down to the EMA, and I took a long entry here, and then we pushed up from there. So when we got here, we put in another high here, like an RBI kind of trade here that I took. We pushed up and we pushed back down, and I ended up getting stopped out in the profit because this one was up so high and this one was just down a little. So I was still in profit in this trade. And this put me back at about $1,300 if I remember correctly. And then we held this EMA, higher high, higher low. I immediately re-entered. We came down again to an equal low. We didn't break lower than that. And then we pushed back higher again. And then this one came down and put in a higher step. So I was like, okay, I'm going to double down on this trade. And I just went with my gut on it. My stop was still in the same place. I just doubled down. And we broke this trend line. I had drawn this trend line at this time now. And we broke this trend line and went on up to here. And then we started putting this in. So I put in this trend line here. And then we broke it, exited. And then when it filled me on 2 contracts, and then it started pulling back. I'm like, crap. So I ran my stop up to risk 2 points. I think it was like 575, I think was what I ran my stop to. And then as you can see on the next candle, we pushed through and ended up triggering all of them. So I total made about $3,000, a little bit over $3,000 today, enough to fund this account. Here, I'll show you this here. You can see 53,159, 3,200 total, and 103 in fees. Let me show you the performance on this so you can see 32, 62, 103, and $3,159 with 8 winning trades and 4 losing trades. So wonderful trading day today, and I just want to thank you for watching this video. If you've watched it this far, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate to ask. I'm more than willing to help as much as I can. That's the point of making these videos, aside from helping me recap my trades. And yeah, so hopefully you have a wonderful day, wonderful week ahead. Hopefully you were green if you were in the markets today, and I'll see you later.